Oddscast, presented by Five Dimes. I'm MMA journalist Brian Heminger, joined today by leading MMA Oddsmaker and founder of MMAOddsBreaker.com, Nick Kalikas. Since starting up this new podcast, we're 5-0 on events thus far, coming off a 2-unit profit at UFC Fight Night 34. I went into more detail in part 1 of the Premium Oddscast posted earlier in the week, and every bet we've offered is available via betting recaps in our track record at MMAOddsBreaker.com, so no need to completely rehash everything. Back to business, UFC Fight Night 35 goes down tonight in Duluth, Georgia, taking place primarily on Fox Sports 1. Let's move on to the bets. Now, our first play for UFC Fight Night 35 is a straight bet on somebody that we both liked from part 1 of the Premium Oddscast posted earlier in the week. And Nick, tell us a little bit about this Silverio matchup against Isaac Valley Flag.
Well, we are going to take Silverio. For 3 units, actually, is going to be the play here. I just love the way he matches up with Valley Flag. The weigh-ins are obviously over. He came in looking okay at 155. And again, he's just going to be physically bigger and I think just better than Valley Flag. Valley Flag's best attribute, as we mentioned in part 1, is the ability to push forward. He has a ton of heart, but I just don't think that's going to get him done, be enough for this fight with Silverio. I think Silverio is going to be able to outstrike him, put Valley Flag on his back, at least control a decision, if not possibly get a stoppage. I know there's been a little bit of action on Silverio after weigh-ins, but I still like him at the current price as well. So 3 units on Silverio because I think he is the better fighter and still value on that line.
Yeah, and Isaac Valley Flag, 35 years old. I mean, he is on a 3-fight winning streak against decent opposition, but every one of them close, split decisions. You know, you could argue both ways, especially on his UFC debut. And his time is coming up. Like, somebody's going to get him, and I think it's going to be Silverio. Silverio looked pretty sharp at welterweight, being the Jungle Fight welterweight champion, and dropping down to lightweight like this, I think is a really good opportunity for him to come in and make a statement. So we're going to move on. We've got 2 more parlays in our premium here. So tell us a little bit about these wrestling parlays with Charlie Brenneman against, with Charlie Brenneman and with Ramsey Nijem.
Yeah, we're going to do a 2-team parlay with both Brenneman and Nijem, as you mentioned. I know both of these guys, again, based on part 1, we got some flaws in their game, but at the current prices, I mean, Brenneman dropped from my original opener of almost 2.5 to 1 all the way down, I mean, to $160, $170-ish. So even though I do think it's stylistically a tricky matchup for Brenneman with Darius, because Darius is a pretty well-rounded fighter, I still think the one thing that Brenneman has over Darius is the fact that he can put him on his back, stay out of sub-trouble, and control the fight. Brenneman looked good at the weigh-ins, so teaming him up with Nijem, which also looked pretty good at the weigh-ins, I think that Nijem could basically follow along the same path. Edwards is a dangerous fighter, but I think he's only dangerous early on, so if Nijem survives early, I see him cruising to a decision, if not a stoppage as well. So I do find value at the current lines, both straights, Nijem and Brenneman, but parlaying together 2.5 units at around plus 170-ish or more, I think is the way to go here. So we're going to do a Brenneman-Nijem 2-team parlay at around plus 170 or better for 2.5 units.
Yeah, and it kind of reduces the risk here because both guys coming in at you don't want to lay the juice with these guys potentially having the flaw with the chin, and this just really helps us out. And I really do feel that Nijem and Brenneman can, lay and pray, grind this out with their wrestling. They're both top-notch grapplers, and that's just what they do. And these are opponents that can be controlled. We've seen it before in the past with Edwards against McGuire, and Darius has been taken down repeatedly before. So I think that this is a very logical outcome. Now we've got one last premium parlay with the main event, Luke Rockhold against Costa Philippou, and of course a guy we really liked in Alpas Killick against Smolka. So Nick, tell us a little bit about this one.
Well, no surprise. We like Rockhold. I mean, it was pretty clear on our breakdown with how strong we were on Rockhold. Just a bad matchup for Philippou across the board. I think Philippou is basically going to have to land that puncher's knockout chance, puncher's chance type of thing to beat Rockhold. Rockhold's just a far superior fighter in that matchup. So we want to put Rockhold in the parlay with Oddscast. Oddscast, again, he's another matchup where I think he's just the more well-rounded fighter, and anywhere the fight takes place, he should be okay versus Smolka. I think Smolka's submission game isn't going to be good enough to catch a guy like Oddscast, and Oddscast, again, can control where the fight goes. So Rockhold and Oddscast, A two-team parlay, I do find value again, betting them both straight, but combined, we're going to reduce the risk a little bit. It's going to be minus 135-ish for Rockhold Kalikas. So I do think there's some value there for 2.5 units as well.
With Kalikas here, I really do like him just because Smolka's best chance of winning fights, like his best attribute, is to get on top of people and ground and pound. And I just do not see him being able to do that. So he's going to be a little bit out of his element against somebody like Kalikas, who is either going to use his wrestling in reverse to keep it standing where he should have a striking edge, or Kalikas can take it down and just get on top and grind this out. So Kalikas seems like a real safe play. And then, of course, as we talked about on part 1 of the Premium Oddscast, Luke Rockhold is just far and away better than Philippou in almost every statistical category. So 2 really safe plays, parlay them together, it comes in at decent odds. So that does it for our UFC Fight Night 35 premium plays. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Premium Oddscast. We usually do give out a free play, so that's where you're going to be able to find it. You can also join the free play emailing list by sending an email to picks@MMAOddsBreaker.com. And of course, you can like us on Facebook, Premium Oddscast on Facebook, for all the latest information. And last but not least, he was not here today for the part 2 of the Oddscast, but make sure to check out Reed Kuhn's new book, Fightnomics, which is available via Amazon and on Kindle. So check that out. And special thanks to our sponsor, 5 Dimes. And absolutely best of luck with all your plays today, guys. So good luck. Happy betting, everyone.